Hi fight fans, in this short video I will tell you why Daniel Cormier confessed to cheating 5 years later. He confessed that for 5 years he has been deceiving everyone. So what do you think the reaction will be from the fans? And also in this video we will see interesting moments from an interview with Israel Adesanya in which he agreed to fight Chimaev. And also Adesanya turned to the haters who have been accusing him of using illegal drugs for a long time. I will also tell you why Adesanya paid tribute to former two-time belt champion Conor McGregor despite the Irishman's losing streak. Then we'll see how the UFC President thinks the fact that sooner or later every more or less successful fighter in his organization starts talking about these so-called money fights. And find out what the message was given to the fighters, and at the end of the video also see what former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov said about the best moment of his professional career. So watch till the end for more information about the UFC world. As you already know, former UFC lightweight title holder Khabib Nurmagomedov and former two-time weight division champion Daniel Cormier have been officially inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame for their sporting achievements. And recall that something very interesting happened at the ceremony. 5 years after the controversial towel stunt at the UFC 210 weigh-ins, former UFC double champion Daniel Cormier has publicly admitted to cheating to keep his title in the light heavyweight division. In 2017, thanks to a towel, Daniel Cormier lost more than 1 pound in 2 minutes to retain the title and then successfully defended the championship belt against Anthony Johnson, who was finished by a rear naked choke in the second round. He said, "Guys, I want to confess something to you because I feel that now is the time to be as honest as possible," Cormier said at the UFC Hall of Fame induction ceremony in Las Vegas. "I was holding on to the towel in Buffalo. I came back off stage 1.2 pounds overweight and my trainer said to me, 'DC, do you remember the old wrestling towel trick? Do you understand the level of ridiculousness required for this to work?' But everything worked out for me and I could not believe my luck. Even when I lost, the belt miraculously came back to me. What can I say? I'm lucky. Rumble, if anything, I'm sorry, bro. We can all agree that this is a brave act to admit that later you will be hated and will be reminded of this all your life. We all make mistakes, but the most important thing is to admit your mistakes and ask your fans for forgiveness. I don't see anything wrong here, and vice versa, this is a very bold act from his side. It was sincere, of course, and I'm really interested in what you think about it. After this incident with Cormier, the New York State Athletic Commission was forced to amend the regulations to prohibit fighters from contacting anything other than scales during the weigh-in procedure. But after that, there were still cases when some fighters use this old wrestling technique, but that's a story about which you could make a separate video, but I won't do it because that list includes some of my favorite fighters who tried to use this trick and I will not name them. You already know everything. I am for the cleanliness of this sport, so comment what you think about this topic. Adesanya told in which case he would agree to fight with Chimaev. The holder of the UFC middleweight title, New Zealander Israel Adesanya, shared his thoughts on the opportunity to fight with the Swedish fighter of Chechen origin, Khamzat Chimaev. He said, "I really liked the way he fought Gilbert Burns. That fight made me think, well, this guy has a heart. You can feel the fire in him. However, I don't think he will get past Kamaru Usman or even someone like Leon Edwards. With Vicente Luque, it will also be difficult for him. But if he gets over one of those guys and works his way up to being a champion in some parallel universe and then defends the title a couple of times and then wants to fight me, I'm fine. I like this guy because he is a fighter that can bring good money," Adesanya said. And also, Israel Adesanya turned to the haters who have been accusing him of using illegal drugs for a long time. "When I'm good, they talk about saggy tits. They just want to justify my victories in order to take away my greatness. I will pay $3 million to anyone who can prove that I have ever used steroids. If you have proof that I have bought, touched, or taken performance-enhancing substances, just let me know. I will pay $3 million. Now, these accusations that I use steroids are not supported by anything," Adesanya said at the UFC Media Day. And then when they asked him about Conor McGregor, despite the Irishman's losing streak, Adesanya paid tribute to the former two-belt champion Conor McGregor, and he said, "Honestly, I don't care about winning or losing anymore. I don't care about titles. Now, I can't even tell you where my belt is. Conor McGregor doesn't have a title at all. He hasn't fought in a long time, but still remains one of the biggest superstars in this game because he made himself along the way. All I want is just to show myself. I want to demonstrate my essence and express myself," said Adesanya. Now let's see what Dana White said when he was asked about how he feels about the fact that sooner or later every more or less successful fighter in his organization starts talking about these so-called money fights. "I'm tired of talking about money fights," White said, answering questions from reporters before the UFC 276 tournament. "I want a money fight. I want a money fight." Are you all suggesting to fight Conor? I have no doubt that Conor is the right guy. It fills arenas, sells tickets, paid exhibitions, and so on. If you're not him, just shut up. You're not Conor McGregor, shut up. Guys talk about money fights, but they're not money fights themselves. If you are a good champion, your fights sell. You sell pay-per-view, you get a percentage of the sales. If you're not a pay-per-view star, shut up and fight. Recall that the 33-year-old Conor McGregor took part in 8 of the 10 most profitable fights in the history of the organization, with 6 of his fights ranked from 1st to 6th in the financial rankings. The Irishman is currently recovering from a broken leg that he got from a fight against Dustin Poirier, and his return to the octagon is scheduled for end of this year or the beginning of next year. Former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov spoke about the best moment of his professional career. It was in Las Vegas in October 2018, the biggest fight in MMA history, and I am very happy that I won this fight with Conor McGregor. I could lose any of my fights, but by no means this one, Nurmagomedov said. Now, we can all agree that this fight went down in history. Nurmagomedov, after this fight, became mega popular, and as many fans say, Khabib took his soul of Conor. He made him knock, and after this fight, Conor clearly changed. Therefore, oddly enough, Khabib considers this to be the best moment of his career. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and comment your thoughts.